Hello, everybody. It's Brian Devine here with TopLine, and welcome to the TopLine Live at 5. Today is Friday, so I'm wearing my Flash shirt, so hopefully you enjoy that. But today, we're going to be talking about reviews. Not just how important they are. I think we've talked about that a little bit before, and we'll certainly talk about it again because reviews are so important. But today, let's talk about how you get reviews consistently for your practice. Because if you go out and get 20 or 30 reviews tomorrow, that's going to be great for tomorrow, but it's going to look, unrealistic. It's going to look unnatural to Google, and it could possibly hurt your rankings. Because a lot of people talk about, well, if you have reviews on your Google Maps listing, you do better in the search results and the maps, and that's true. But if you get them all at once, it can actually hurt you. So if you're already in a good position and you get 20 reviews in one day and then nothing for 2 or 3 weeks, it can actually move you down. So we want to make sure that you don't do that. So let's talk about how you can get reviews on a consistent basis, because it's really not that hard. So we're going to talk about 4 different ways to do it. Number 1, personally ask. This is the hardest way to do it. Probably the most effective, because people are going to feel like, boy, I want to do this because you are asking personally. And I'm talking about personally asking, like face to face. So it is probably the hardest thing, especially for your team members to do, because they can be uncomfortable. Now, there's lots of ways to get better at it. One is to practice. So if you have a script, practice that script, have your morning huddle and practice the script a few times. So that way, when you're in front of an actual patient who's thrilled and happy, you aren't going to be uncomfortable and stumble around. Believe it or not, it is harder to do this in front of your peers than it is to an actual patient. So personally asking, absolutely the best way, but also the hardest. Now, one of the easier things you can do when you're personally asking is to have a little postcard or a handout, something to make it easier for your team to ask the question, and you're going to get better results because then that person has something physical that they're going to be able to leave with. Now, I've worked in offices that actually used a little card where they would fill it out right on the spot. The problem with that is you really need it to be digital, because when it's something that's written, it looks nice in the practice and you can maybe scan it and put it on your website. But unless it is written and it is attached to that person's actual account, the value is not as high. You really need that to be online and to be attached to that patient's account so that it has massive value in your social standings. So that's number 1, personally ask. Number 2, email. This is a whole lot easier, but not as effective. So what you need to be thinking about is, what can you do to make it more effective? Have a really clean email that is just sort of copy and paste. You don't have to rewrite it every single time. Always use the same one. Make sure you have the links to the places where you're hoping to get reviews. And I wouldn't suggest sending out 10, 3 at the most. So it's usually 1 or 3. I wouldn't do 2. When people have a choice of 2, they tend not to choose. A choice of 3, they'll generally choose the one in the middle. I don't know why, but that's just kind of the way we're hardwired. Have 3 options for them and make it easy. So they just click the link, go straight to your account, and as long as they're logged in, all will be well. And most people don't even realize they're logged in, especially if you're on Facebook. People don't even know how to log out because they're just always on it, and that's why Facebook is one of the stickiest, or what they call stickiest websites out there, because people are just always there. When you do an email campaign, you can expect maybe 1 out of 20 to actually leave you the review, and that means that you have to consistently send out those emails. Don't send out 10 in a day and think you're done for the month. Send out 10 every week. Maybe you're going to get 1 or 2, right? So you're going to get maybe 1 or 2 reviews based on 40 emails going out. If you want to get more, then obviously you have to send more. That means you have to have somebody in charge of sending out your emails on a regular basis. Not that hard to do, and it can help, so certainly consider that as an option. Number 3, snail mail. Actually putting a letter in the mail, handwriting it, putting a signature on it, and that actually does do well. Put the links in there. I know it won't be clickable because it's snail mail, it's physical, but it makes it easier for somebody to go to the site. You can use what are called short links so that you can have a bit.ly or google.ly. So I think it's goo.le, I can't remember. But Google has a link shortener. So if it's a really long link and you need Yelp reviews today, then you can put that into the Google shortener. Just look up Google shortener, and it will make it a very short link that you can put into a letter. Again, the key to that is having somebody actually send out the letters on a regular basis. And you don't have to handwrite every single one of them. There are ways that you can actually automate some of that. There is a tool called Thankster. So Thankster.com is a really cool little slick tool where you can actually send them your handwriting and then write the email, or excuse me, write the letter on your computer, and it will be sent out in your handwriting. Really powerful way to go. And if that's the direction that you want to go, then I would recommend someone like Thankster. Send Out Cards is another one that has that option where you can have your actual handwriting. And it's not vital that it be your actual handwriting, but using a handwriting font where it really does look like you took the time will have an extra impact. So that is something that you can absolutely consider, which is the snail mail. Number 4, this is my favorite, and this is having your team say, "Would you mind signing in, please?" And for those of you that already have an electronic sign-in format where they sign in and they're automatically entered into your practice management software, that's when I recommend you train your team to say, "Would you mind signing out, please?" And then we take it over from there. So I am absolutely plugging what we can do for you. Our system is just so darn easy for your team to do that they actually do it. They don't fight you on it. If you're going to try and train your team on it personally asking for reviews, you're going to get some pushback. And rightfully so. It's out of their comfort zone. And they're going to feel awkward, and it's hard to get them to do that. So that is going to be a challenge. With our system, having them just say, "Would you mind signing in, please?" That's it. We take it from there. The cool thing is, and again, if you're most the orthodontic offices I work with, you already have a sign-in. We don't want them to double up. So we say, "Would you mind signing out, please?" What happens is once they sign out, they put their name, phone number, and their email in there, and then we will send them a text message. And we can send it instantly, an hour later, 2 hours later, 2 days later, whatever we'd like. And at that point, we say, "Would you mind giving us feedback on your visit today?" And then they can text and say stop. We don't get any more texts. Or they can tap on the little link. And from there, it'll say, "Would you recommend us, yes or no?" If they should say no, it then takes them to a page that apologizes for not creating a 5-star experience, asking them for feedback. Let them vent, get all of that negative thought and energy out right there, and it stops at that point and goes to you, to the office. We don't obviously ask for them to leave a review anywhere else, but we want them to have the opportunity to vent and feel like they're being heard and listened to. That's vital. It's hugely important. So we have that built in. Now, if they say, "Yeah, I recommend you," it's great. Please choose your favorite directory. So if it's Google, Facebook, Yelp, we'll list all of those for them to tap on. The cool thing is that if they're on an Android phone and we know that you need Yelp reviews, we'll automatically look for the Yelp app on their phone and try to launch it. If it isn't there, it will then roll over to Google or roll over to Facebook, and it will take them directly to your listing and let them leave you a review there. It is the hands down the coolest way that we've found to get reviews on a consistent basis. It works beautifully well. And as long as you actually use the tool, you can consistently get 3 to 5 reviews month in, month out. And if you really have a busy practice, then we're talking about getting 1 or 2 a day. If you have questions about it, if you'd like to learn more, if there's anything else that I can do to support you when it comes to getting reviews for your practice, because they are so important, if any of those things, any of those 4 that I've listed, sound like something you'd like to learn more about, I'd be happy to talk to you. And obviously, number 4, which is the "Would you mind signing in, please?" I would be more than happy to walk you through that. It is a super fun way to do it, and it's very inexpensive. So let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate you joining us on TopLine Live at 5. That's it for me. Bye for now.